Indonesian Publishers Fellowship Program. Thank you for having me here. I was also a participant at the 2019 edition, and I learned a lot during that program. So I hope you will learn something too. So now I will share with you what we experience here in Indonesia, particularly in Gramedia Pustaka Utama during this pandemic. And the title of my presentation is Publishing Through Pandemic, Now and Going Forward. So my name is Nina, and I've been working as an editor for more than 10 years. And in the last 2 or 3 years, I've been focusing more in the children's book department. And here are the background information about the situation in Indonesia. So the first positive case was announced in early March, and we did not experience a total lockdown, but we implemented social restrictions policy. So this is Gramedia Pustaka Utama. We are a general publisher, and we publish around 1,000 titles a year across 3 departments: fiction, non-fiction, and children's book. Now let's start with our main discussion. I would like to start by showing you this picture, because I think if we boil things down, these are the 3 main aspects of publishing: content production, sales, and warehousing. And these 3 works like a gear. So any changes in one aspect will directly affect the other aspect. That's why I think we need to view this as a whole and not just as parts. As for impacts and challenges, the first impact that we felt was in the sales front. As you can see in the chart here, in our worst month, which was in April, our sales growth dropped to 70%. For almost 2 months, our main sales channel had to close temporarily, and our online sales proportionally is still minor compared to the sales in the physical bookstores. And we also quickly realized that on-ground activities with crowds are no longer visible. On the content production side, we face a different sets of challenges. Authors, editors, and designers are still working with the same pace, but with the stores closing, the flow is a bit different. The printing house was also temporarily closed, and to add to this is the fact that e-books are not yet that popular in Indonesia. In the warehouse, we experienced an overflowing of stocks due to decreased sales. And here are some things that we do to adapt to the changes. In the content production team, we immediately switched to digital publishing. And we also do as much as possible digital promotion. We try to bring as much as possible the offline experience to the online platform. And in the warehouse, we made special packages and offer them in big discounts to customers. The first picture shown here is print on demand e-flyer. Although we only publish ebooks for quite some time, we keep track of these titles very closely. So if there's some titles that perform very well in the platform, we will announce a pre-order system where we will print these books, but only as many as the incoming orders from customers. So this will help in decreasing the burden for our warehouse. And we do a lot of Instagram live chats and also YouTube lives, anything that we can do to help bridge that communication between authors and readers. Bookstores also made special program because everyone has to adapt in this situation. So they made a system where customers can chat specific stores and then order books and then have their books delivered to the house within hours. Reseller is one sales channel that I'd like to discuss further. So in mid-May, we post this flyer to our social media, and then within 2.5 months, about 50 new resellers registered with us, and mostly are stay-at-home moms. So they help us promote and market our books to their circle of friends. And the result was unexpected. In May, the result was so-so because it's new, but in June, the sales value increased 4 times, And in the next month, it increased 10 times higher. We know that we can't apply this type of marketing to every titles because how you communicate with resellers is very different. The approach is very unique. But from this experience, we learned that we need to always be open to new possibilities, to new sales channel. And in August, this is our update. After our worst month in April, in May, the sales increase a little bit, and this also happens in June and July. So this doesn't mean that we are in the clear yet, but this gives us a lot of hope. Discussing how publishing should move forward is a bit tricky because we all know it will be very dependent on the improvement of this health crisis. But some key points would be, first, we need to strengthen our relationship with authors. Update them regularly and then let them know what happens. And they need to know that we are in the same boat in this matter. And secondly, be more selective to the titles that we publish. And depending on the country, of course, maybe lowering print run is an option. And the third is to be always open to new possibilities. The key lessons that we learned during these past few months is that we really need to know our key characteristics. For us, because we are a big publisher and with the burden in our warehouse, lowering print run makes a lot of sense. But maybe that's not the case with your publishing. And the second one would be for that three main aspects of publishing to work closely and then move quickly to adapt to the new situations. Now let's get on to the bestsellers list, the most exciting part for us. The first one would be this. This is 78 recipes for babies' complementary food. This is written by a doctor, a child specialist actually. So this is very trustworthy. And this is not just a regular recipe book because the authors also adds nutritional info and also other health-related pointers for new parents. The book was published in early May, and so far it has been sold for more than 50,000 copies. This is actually the fifth book in the Mamiklopedia series. The second one would be Selina. The book is written by Tere Lie, one of our most prolific and best-selling author. So this is the 8th book in the series, and all books reach our bestsellers list. The story centers around best friends, Raib, Ali, and Sally, who discovered that they have secret superpowers. And with these superpowers, they also discovered that they have a duty to save their world. This is very exciting, very fast-paced, and this title particularly is actually the prequel to the Three Best Friends story. This was published in January, and it has been sold for more than 30,000 copies. The next one is this, titled Slam the Book. Interesting, right? So the pages are thick, and the idea is that you can tear off this page and then choose which one quote is most suitable to you, and then you can tear off the page and give that to your friend or to your crush or maybe to someone who has been friend-zoning you for some time. So it's like you're giving them signs, but very literal one. And the book is illustrated by the author herself. This was launched on Valentine's Day this year and received very warm welcome from the younger generations. It has been sold for more than 10,000. I guess that is all from me. I really hope this pandemic can be resolved soon and that we are all staying healthy. This pandemic really forced us to change, both personally and professionally. And change is not always easy, but I hope it will be worth it in the end. So let's rethink our approaches in publishing and find out which needs improvement and which don't. I just want to end this session by saying good luck to us all. See you when things are better. Bye!